Christian, make sure to come home from work today.
Huh? Why?
I have something I'd really like to talk to you about.
You wanna talk? I've got a drinking party tonight, so it's not gonna be possible.
Then, when you're back from that party, let's both talk a little.
No way! After the drinking party, I'm definitely gonna be sleepy. When I get home, I wanna go straight to bed.
But I have something really important to us to tell you about.
What could it possibly be? Do you really have something so important to tell me that you would stop me from sleeping? Just tell me right now if it's that important.
What? Right now?
Come on now, just tell me already.
I don't really feel like it's personal enough to tell you through text, but, well, I guess it'll have to do. Well, Christian, I've become pregnant.
What? Huh? You're pregnant?
Yeah, recently I've been feeling a little bit off. And so I went out and bought myself a pregnancy test, just to be on the safe side. And when I took it, it showed that I was positive.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I even went to the woman's clinic right after to have the doctor make sure of it, and he said the same thing.
You're lying? If you start to bring a child into our life now, that means next year the cost of living for us is really gonna go up. Did you know that?
Huh? Well, yeah, but you're right. I think we'll start having to spend a bit more money on things. We'll need to start buying things in preparation for the baby as well, I'm assuming.
Could you just stop for a second?
What's up?
I wasn't really thinking we needed a child quite yet, though.
What do you mean? Are you not happy that I become pregnant with our first child?
I'm telling you that right now, the timing for a child is not good. With the kind of plan I have, I was hoping for another 3 years or so before we tried for a baby.
What plan is that you have? I never heard anything about it from you.
When you have your first child, you gotta be home more often, a lot more, and it restricts what you can do outside the house, right? As of right now, I really want to be out of the house working, and I have really wanted to spend at least a few more years making bank before bringing another life into our world. And yet you went ahead and made a thoughtless move by getting yourself pregnant. You are an idiot.
The fact that I'm pregnant right now doesn't have to do only with the choices I've made. Had you really not wanted for me to get pregnant right now, then why did you never wear a condom or anything like that? I'm not the only one you can be blaming for not thinking things through before acting. You are just as much to blame for this.
And I was under the impression that you've been on birth control and that there was no chance that you would get pregnant. If you could just look around and see that right now is not the time to be pregnant, you would understand how I feel, right?
Huh? Why are you saying things like that to make yourself look as though you did nothing wrong? I have no idea why you are that upset over this when you're just as much to blame as I am for this baby.
I'm mad at you because you don't have a brain in that head of yours, and you weren't thinking enough about our future together. This is the reason why I hate people that don't plan things out.
Well, if you wanted me to know the plan, then you should have told me about it sooner than today. Then I would have tried a whole lot harder to not get myself pregnant. Telling me all this now in that tone is just making me distressed.
Yeah, I get it now. But I'm just as distressed as you are.
Well, for the time being, there is no changing the fact that I'm pregnant. And that also means that this kid I'm carrying is not to blame whatsoever.
That's true. The only one to blame is the idiot on the other end of this phone.
You are not going to start hating me because of this baby, right? You're still going to love this baby, whether you're happy with me or not, right? You're not going to say things to them like you'd be happier if they weren't born, right?
That and this are two completely different topics.
Thank goodness. I'm sure that this has put a huge hole in that plan of yours, Christian. But we can still do our best to raise this baby.
But I don't think I'm ever gonna forget how you ruined this whole plan I had for us. I don't think I'll ever be able to trust someone like you ever again.
I see. I understand. But if you have anything you'd like to say to me regarding this, then you better tell me right away. If you don't let me know of other plans you have, or how you're feeling, then things like this could happen again to us.
Alright, when I get back from work, I'm gonna tell you everything about what I want from my life. And you had better not fall asleep before I get home. I'm already pissed off with you enough as it is, and you doing that would only further my hatred for you. Something came in the mail for you today, Mariana. What the heck is this?
Those are sheets for the baby that arrived. I know it's a little early, but some of my family sent them to me. They don't eat them anymore, so they wanted for us to have them. It would be too expensive to have to buy everything, right?
Is that what this is? Are you not gonna be getting anything else for the baby?
I actually wanted to get a stroller for the baby from my family as well. One of my family members still has one, but the tires on it are all broken, so they had to toss it. So I just decided that we'll have to go out and buy one instead.
Having to buy a lot of things for the baby is gonna drive me a bit nuts. According to my plan this year, I would have been able to save another $5,000 or so for my future. But if we have to keep on spending this kind of money on the baby, then I'll never be able to spend that much. It's all because of you that my life's plan has completely gone to waste.
And I've apologized to you for that plenty of times now. I'm trying my best to keep working right up to having this baby, in order to have as much money as possible for when they come.
And since this is all you're doing, I want you to promise me that you'll work right up to the very last day you can stand on both your legs before having that baby. Had you followed that plan I had before, you would never have had to work while being pregnant and could have stayed at home all day while I worked.
I still think it's a bit odd of you to blame me still for all that's happened. I don't even remember you ever having these kinds of plans before when we just got married. At least, I never heard anything about them from you.
I changed after marrying you, all thanks to Mr. Connors.
Isn't Mr. Connors your current CEO?
Have you not ever seen Mr. Connors' social media or anything like that before? He has thousands upon thousands of followers on all his accounts.
Really? That's amazing of him. Is he like some kind of influencer then?
Mr. Connors is a really influential business owner. It's insane for someone in their 40s to already have their company looking as amazing as his. He's got a lot of seminars all the time where he explains his logic, and even has books talking about how to get where he is at. In other words, he's my favorite man to read about.
Is that so?
And from what Mr. Connors has talked about, his most important thing is to make sure you have a plan set for the rest of your life. He said that planning things out financially for the future isn't something that only businesses do to make sure they're successful, but something that people have to do for themselves as well.
And so that's why you decided to start planning things out more around your life, right? You've been influenced by a successful CEO.
I want to make sure that things for me in the future are perfect, and that means taking the least troublesome paths. Our lives are short, so it all has to be done in the most effective manner in order for us to get the most from it. And I feel like if I do the same exact thing that Mr. Connors does for his own life, then I might be able to close my success over to him someday. I want to become like him when I become 40 years old, you know?
You've been trying to plan out your life just like Mr. Connors has been? Are you sure that's okay for you?
What do you mean by that?
Well, have you been doing the same things as him? Like timing out when to have kids? Like, are you trying to be the exact same person as he is? And when did he have his kids?
He said that he had his own kids 2 years ago. It seems to him like the most important thing to do in your 30s is work, work, work. And once you're in your 40s, you can relax a little and then have some kids. He wanted to be able to make sure he was financially sound in his 30s, and so that in his 40s he would never have to expose his kids to any form of poverty. He's an amazing man, right? Knows all the right things to do.
Then that must mean his wife is in her 40s now as well, right? It must have really been hard on her health having kids at that age, right?
Nah, his wife's only in her 20s right now. They've got an age gap of around 13 years, I believe.
Wait, does all of that not seem a little bit strange to you?
What's so strange about it? I don't see a single thing wrong with what he's done.
You wanted to have kids when you started to enter your 40s?
That's right.
Well, when you enter your 40s, then I'd also be entering my 40s, right? Having to be that age and have kids would be a terrible thing for my health and could lead to all sorts of complications for me. The only reason Mr. Connors has been able to have kids in his 40s is because his wife is almost half his age now.
I mean, when you're in your 40s or your 50s, you can still make kids as a woman, right? And it's not like our healthcare is really bad in the US where they just let you die because you were unwell during the process. There have been plenty of people in the world who have babies when they're past the age of 40.
And I'm sure there are some people. But as a woman gets older and older, the risk of suffering some kind of adverse effect from the pregnancy grows. You and Mr. Connors both live in completely different worlds from one another right now, so I don't think his plan is going to work for you. I really think you need to rethink things when it comes to wanting to follow his life plans exactly.
Stop trying to talk to me like you understand anything. What I'm trying to tell you is that you better try harder to not get sick when you turn 40.
Do not say things like that to me.
You already ruined all my plans, and now you're gonna start talking to me like I have no clue what I'm doing?
Well, your plan for your life is just a copy of what someone else is doing, right? Really, you should be the one putting some thought into it and making an original plan for yourself.
Oh, I've been putting loads of thought into my plan, Mariana. I've been thinking about it for so much further longer than you have, so shut it. I've been putting a lot of time into making sure that things end up for me the way they did with him, and that has taken a lot of thinking on my end. So quit it with all these complaints when you have done squat to help me with my plans. You are just an amateur when it comes to this world, so shut your mouth.
But you seem to be trying really hard to make sure everything goes according to that plan, right? Are you sure you're not putting too much of your thought and time into that plan, when you could be putting it all towards something more attuned to yourself? If you continue with the same plan Mr. Connors has, then you're saying you're totally fine with me being at risk come my 40s. You don't care what happens to the babies and I?
You're just an idiot who has no idea what you're talking about. As long as I stick to this plan, everything will go perfectly for me.
You can't be sure of that though, right?
Oh, you're really getting on my nerves. All you seem to be for me is a roadblock.
A roadblock?
I just want you to shut up and do as I say, alright? But you went ahead and got pregnant with that brat now, and he's gonna put a huge dent in what's supposed to be perfect. So if you do anything else to piss me off any more than I already am, I'm gonna throw that baby away.
You do not say that to your pregnant wife. Acting like the baby and I are just items to you? Are you not happy that you and I were able to make a baby together?
I don't think so. It was not part of the plan I had for my life anyway, so there's no way I'm gonna be responsible for caring for it. All it is a waste of my money and time.
You're awful. Saying all that because things didn't go exactly as Mr. Connors had planned? You cannot speak of your child like that when this is not their fault.
This month, I'm having to pay another 50% more on this credit card than I had to last month. Is it really costing you this much money just to get ready for a kid? This is exactly the reason why I didn't want us having kids yet.
Is that something a father says about their baby?
Well, this is all your fault. Don't get yourself pregnant without asking me first. My whole life's plan is gonna be completely ruined because of you and that kid.
This is your life's plan? You stop all that right now. All you've been doing is copying everything I've done to try to be half as good as me. You're fired from my company, and I want you to go back to square one.
Hold on, who is this? It's not my wife that I'm talking to?
My name is Franklin Connors. You should be able to know your own CEO's name, correct?
Is that really you? There's no way in hell you're my CEO. Why would my CEO be using my wife's phone anyway to talk to me?
It's because I'm with your wife right now. Your manager is Robert, right? I'll let him know that you're to be fired the second you're back at the office.
What? Are you really saying that my CEO is on the other end of this phone?
I already told you I am. So please stop trying to get me to repeat the exact same things to you. It's inefficient.
I'm so very sorry for questioning you, sir. But please, why are you with my wife at this very moment?
I'll have your wife explain that one to you later on. I do not want to waste all my day talking to a pathetic waste like you, so I'll get right to the point. I don't need you working at this company, someone that sees his wife and soon-to-be birthed baby as only items. I'm gonna have you off my payroll very soon.
Please, hold on just a moment. I am a huge fan of you and your life, sir. I really just wanted to end up like you as a person, and I've seen hundreds of your seminars already. There's not another man in this company that loves you and your life as much as I do.
And those that are important to my company are not people that love me and just want to be like me. I need people in my company that are good people who know how to think for themselves. If you really have been coming to all my seminars, then you should be aware that I really care about my family a lot, right?
Yes, I do.
But you've been ruthlessly forward to your wife and saying horrible things to her, and it's broken her heart. You're even talking about how you don't want the baby she's carrying for you. I don't want to hear it from you when you say things like that to your own family. Do you have a heart buried in that chest of yours?
I just happened to say things like that in the moment. Look, I really wasn't trying to say all those mean things to her.
Someone as selfish as you will never be able to be successful in this world, and you'll not be able to move up in any of our companies, that's for sure. I'm not even gonna let you say that you're part of my company anymore.
Please, don't say things like that. I really did want to become like you all my life, Mr. Connors, and I've done everything to follow in your footsteps.
So even after all I've said to you, you're still saying that you haven't heard any of it? Well, I guess that would be the case since you don't even follow what I've said in all my seminars, that all you are is fake, trying to be someone that you're not, which might look okay from the outside, but within yourself there is nothing. If you really want to become like me, a proper man, then you gotta cut the copying crap and start making life decisions yourself.
I'll try even harder, okay? So please, just don't fire me from your company.
I'm sorry, but I can no longer have any exceptions for you in the company. Goodbye, Christian. I hope you find yourself another job for yourself somewhere else.
Sir, please, listen to me.
Mr. Connors has told me he has to get back to work now.
What the hell is going on here? What do you think you're doing?
I'd been talking with Mr. Connors about you and what you've been doing. I told him that you're like some kind of creepy follower to him. And then I explained to him that you were using him as an excuse for allowing yourself to make horrible comments towards me and the baby. Then I finished by asking him to please help me, and it seems like he went ahead and read all those messages I sent to him about us. He told me that he felt really sorry for me and that he wanted to sit down together and talk things over about what's been going on with you.
It's all your fault that he's threatening to fire me from my job now. Why are you doing this to me? Now even Connors is gonna start hating me, his biggest fan. I'm gonna be destroyed.
It's not just that he hates you, Christian, but I think he no longer sees you as even being human. I think things from now on are going to be a lot more difficult for you.
How much longer are you gonna be staying at your parents' place? I want you to come back home right now.
I'm not going back there. I'm going to stay with my parents and have my baby here. I'm having our divorce papers sent to you, so make sure you sign all your parts, please. I'll be getting a settlement from you.
Why do you want a settlement from me now? You think I'll pay that?
The reason for me wanting to leave you is because you verbally assaulted me. Even Mr. Connor said it was a good idea to get a settlement from you after what you've done to me.
He said that to you?
And as a show of his apologies to me, he introduced me to a very good lawyer to help me win this divorce case. If so, I need his strength. Mr. Connors is a wonderful man, and I wish I could have married someone like him. He has helped me out so much, all in just one sitting.
Why is Mr. Connors being an ally to someone like you? I've been the one who was always hoping to become someone like him, and I've been his biggest fan. I'm the one who knows a whole lot more about him in his life, and I should be the one that he wants to help.
And so what, Christian? You call yourself his biggest fan, but you have not listened to a word he said to you at those seminars. He even told you that himself, didn't he? He said you cannot be copying his life's plans and should be thinking of a plan that'll help yourself and your family. Just like I had told you a while back.
What the hell did you tell him about me to make him hate me so much? What could you have said to make him think that he could become that angry with his biggest fan? I tried to apologize to him just the other day at the office, but he still stood up and began to tear me a new one.
I only told him the things you had been doing and saying to me. You just happened to be a total prick to me all the time, and that was not going to fly in Mr. Connor's eyes. I even told him about what you were saying about our baby. But when you said that to me while he was looking at the phone himself, he lost all words to say. He just then muttered that you are a completely hopeless little boy, and then took my phone from me to start texting with you.
Please, can't you get him to stop hating me? Tell him that you and I had just been in a fight and that you made me say all the things that like that to you. If you don't help me fix this, I really will be fired.
I'm not going to change how you look to him.
I had made all these plans for myself to have our family be happy forever. I'll apologize for being a little bit too strict about it. I'm sorry, okay?
Well, Christian, I also started to make a plan for myself. And a part of that plan is not having you in my life anymore. And even Mr. Connors thinks that's a good idea, since he's getting rid of you from his company as well. So, for the sake of both the company's plan and my own plan, get the hell away from us.
I don't want to. Stop trying to act like I'm the one that caused all this to happen. I'm telling you that from now on, I'll do better at work, as a father and as a husband.
There's no way that's true.
Just like he told me, I'm gonna start thinking for myself a bit more. So please, just put me back into your life's plan so we can be together forever. I won't make you regret it this time.
Nope, it's all over for you now. I have to make sure I go with a plan that doesn't involve you ruining not only my own life, but the life of my baby as well. And that's why, as a part of my plan, you are to never be in my life again. Take that empty head of yours and go somewhere else where people plan on having you around. After that, Christian tried again and again to apologize to his CEO about what had happened, but no matter how hard he tried, Mr. Connors was not changing his mind. And in the end, Christian ended up losing his job for good. It seems that after that day, his pride took a nosedive, and he no longer had it in him anymore to accept what had happened. He started to go around saying that he chose to leave that company, but since nobody would listen to him, he started to realize he was ruined for good, and then moved back to his parents' house where he's locked himself inside. After that, he stayed in his room all the time and used whatever money he did have to start messing around with stocks. His last-ditch effort was to try and make it big through the stock market. But after putting a lot of money into all the wrong places, he lost whatever saving he'd had left. With no money to his name anymore, he began to totally rely on his parents to care for him for a little while. But after that little while had passed, his parents grew very tired of having to baby him and kicked him out of their house. He left their house without even one complaint, and now nobody really knows about what's happened to him. As for myself, I happened to give a healthy birth, and my baby turned out to be a boy. I also had myself read one of those books by Mr. Connors about his life, and started to think of some things for myself based off his life. I can see by just how amazing this book was that one would really start to like someone like Mr. Connors a lot. But I'm only going to respect his life, and will never copy his life's plan one for one like Christian did. Everyone has to know that you will not have the exact same life as someone else has, and that you should never do the exact same things they do. But of course, people like Christian are not aware of that, or at least weren't, and thought they could get away with trying to copy another person completely. Well, I'm going to make sure I'm never like Christian, and will only use other people's lives as a way of thinking up new ideas for my own life, and then acting on those. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
I just went to one of my checkups. They told me that I've gotten into my stable period now. I think pretty soon here we're going to have to go to both our parents and talk with them about the pregnancy.
I see. I'll leave that to you.
You're fine with me telling your parents about all of this as well? Are you sure you don't want to be the one to tell them?
That doesn't bother me. Go and tell them for me.
All right then. Then I'll go and let them know about it here soon.
Okay, thanks.
Now that I'm into the more stable period of my pregnancy, I was thinking we should start buying some things for the baby. I'm sure there are things we need to get started on in terms of preparation.
Then you can go ahead and get whatever you want ready. I don't know a whole lot about that stuff.
What? I don't like that at all. I want for the both of us to go out and start preparing.
I don't really care what you do. Do whatever you'd like to for the baby.
This is going to be your baby as well, so don't you think you should be a little more excited about it? Right now it's sounding like you don't care about my pregnancy or the baby at all.
That's not it, alright? I just don't know about all the finer details when it comes to all that.
Then next time, would you come along with me to see the doctor for my checkup? Even the doctor was asking me to bring you along from now on.
If I'm able to, right? He doesn't want you forcing me to come or anything like that.
I'm sure he doesn't, but I just want you there to listen to what he has to say about the baby.
You have to go to the clinic during the week, right? I have work then, so it's not happening.
I really don't like the feeling of going through this pregnancy alone, though. You just have to be there for an hour or two, so could you please make a little time?
I am busy. Right now is a very important time for me.
But our baby is also important to you, right?
Well, the work I have to focus on now will affect whether I get promoted or not. I told you before that I was put in charge of a very important project by the director, right? And my boss is expecting me to succeed with this project no matter what happens, alright?
I remember you saying that.
If I end up getting in trouble for not doing well in this project, then it's not going to be good for my future in this company. Even the CEO will hear about me because of this project. So if I don't focus all my time and energy into it, I might even be fired. Have I ever told you about the CEO before?
You told me before that the CEO is a woman, right?
Her and I are pretty close in age even. Yet she's in charge of running a massive company. Because she's so young like myself, she understands the idea of getting younger people moved up within her company. And that chance might even be granted to me. I want that chance, Paula. Then you'll be happy about that.
I'm happy about all of that already. Seeing that you've been given the project in the first place shows me just how important you are to that company.
Right? This is all very important for us. If I'm able to be promoted, then that means good news for the both of us. That's why I want to focus on my job right now. The kid is something you'll have to manage on your own.
All right, I guess so. Hey, Travis, what's happened with you recently? Are you not trying to avoid me right now? Did I do something to upset you?
This isn't about anything you've done to upset me. I just don't like to be around or be touched by you.
Why not?
Recently, your stomach's been really sticking out, right?
That's due to our baby becoming more and more bigger.
You're usually really thin, right? Seeing your stomach growing that massive is disgusting to me. You look like some grotesque monster.
Why would you say something like that? I have no choice but to get this large because I have a baby inside me.
I get that, but I had never seen a pregnant woman's body before until now. I've seen plenty of women before like that, but they have clothing on to cover it all up. When I have to see you at home with nothing but a sports bra on, your stomach makes me want to vomit.
And that's what has led you to avoiding me all this time?
I don't like the look of you right now. You're only gonna grow bigger, right? I don't even want to imagine something like that.
But inside this big belly of mine is your child, right?
And that itself is gonna be grossing me out. Knowing that inside one person there's this other smaller person makes me feel sick.
Well, the same thing happened with you back when your mom had to carry you for 9 months.
It's not my fault that I find all this crap about the female body disgusting. Just know that for the time being, I don't want to be around you at all.
What do you want me to do then? Not having you in the house around makes me feel nervous and lonely. You don't have to touch me if you don't want to, and I won't touch you either. But please do not avoid me anymore, okay?
But I just can't do it, so stop trying to get me to. If you start to force me to be around you, then I'm gonna become really agitated and might start to think about leaving you. Just let me be, alright?
Travis, where are you staying at right now? You have not been sleeping in this house for days now. Stop being such a baby and come back home to me.
I told you why things are like this! I don't want to be around you right now.
You really find me that gross right now?
Well, your stomach just keeps on coming out further and further from your body. And the fact that you're really thin only makes you look worse. You become way too grotesque for me to even think about now.
Do you find the baby to be as disgusting as me then?
Did I ever say the baby was disgusting? I just don't want to look at you right now. Stop trying to make all this weirder than it already is.
Well, with the way you've been acting and talking, I started to think things like that might also be true. I understand that you're afraid of the things you don't understand, but you can't just run away from the unknown, Travis. The baby that's growing inside of me right now is your baby.
I understand that, but why do you have to force me to be there with you? Stop making me repeat myself over and over again about why I don't want to be around you. You are already disgusting to look at. If you keep trying to get me to come back to you right now, you're going to piss me off.
I have a reason to be trying to get my husband to come home to me, right?
If you want me to come home, then you shut up and wait for me.
So if I just shut up and wait for you, you'll come home? I can't believe things like this are already starting to happen even before our baby is born. Do you think you can keep acting like that and still have a happy marriage with me?
Once your stomach is back to its right size, then I'll come home and we can go back to our normal lives. I'm not sure I'll be able to do anything sexual with you anymore, though. I've already had to see you that deformed now. You look like a gosh dang monster with the way your body's contorted.
Do you have any idea how you're making me feel by saying all that? Is there even a reason for me being your wife right now?
Then you want a divorce? I'm totally fine with that. I'd leave you in an instant if you want that.
Are you being serious about that?
But having to get a divorce only a little bit after getting married will make everyone around think of us poorly, right? I would at least like us to stay married for 3 years. Until 3 years are up, you want to live in separate housing?
I do not! Can we please just meet up and talk all this through? There is no way I can continue to support a relationship like this right now. Think of how hard things will be for our baby.
What? No way. I don't want to meet you. I'm sure your stomach has only gotten bigger from the last time I saw you, right? I know for a fact you'd make me throw up. No way!
Having you treat me like this and say such horrible things is not something I can agree with. That's why you need to come and see me at least once, please.
I told you, no way. I am very busy right now, so I'm gonna stop texting you now. Don't bother texting or calling me anymore.
Travis, will you please come home to me today?
Would you cut all of that out right now for me? Didn't I tell you not to text me when I'm working?
I want you to come home every so often, though. My belly is very large right now, all right? I would like for you to come here and help me with some things. And I would also like for our baby to hear its father's voice sometimes.
A pregnant woman's fat stomach is not something I need to be seeing. It's disgusting. I am not going to come over there just to talk to your stomach for the baby's sake. Not happening.
You're the worst.
I'm sure I am, but I'm just being honest. And to be a bit more honest with you, I'm starting to get tired of your crap. I made a mistake having a baby with you.
You really don't know when to shut up, do you? So is this how you think of any woman that's pregnant? You don't have to bother showing up to work anymore then. I don't want people like you in this company doing any work for me anymore.
Huh? What the hell are you going on about now? Paula?
I am not your wife, Travis. This would be Lexi Goldblum.
Goldblum?
You must know the name of the CEO of the company you're currently working for, right?
What? The CEO? Are you freaking kidding me? No way. Why would my CEO be with my wife right now?
We have met one another many times before.
Listen, Paula, there is no such thing as that kind of a coincidence. Would you give it up with that bullcrap lie right now? You really want me to come back home to see you that badly?
You're not at work right now, are you, Travis? I went and had a talk with your boss, Mark, and he told me that you went out to go and see someone. If you don't believe that I'm your CEO right now, then I'd like for you to come to the CEO's office when you come back here.
What? Why do you know the name of my boss, Paula? Could this really be you then, Lexi?
That's what I've been telling you, Travis. This is not your wife lying to you right now. If you don't want to believe what I'm saying, then you can go ahead and continue thinking that this is all a lie.
I am so sorry! I had never thought for one moment that I'd be getting a text message from the CEO like this.
Now we need to talk about your wife. I think the way you behave towards your wife right now is not okay. Saying that she looks like a monster and telling her that she's disgusting to look at and that's why you won't go home to her? That's what I've seen and heard so far from you.
That was on me. I didn't think that she'd start to look like that, and, you could say all of this is because of a fear I have. My wife happens to be a very thin woman normally, so having a stomach as large as hers is very frightening to me. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
I like to think that you have no idea what being pregnant is like or about right now. And because you have no idea what it's like and about, you are able to say such horrible things like that to her, right? You really think it's okay to call her gross and say that she looks more like a monster than a woman? Is there any need for that kind of slander?
But having to look at how massive her stomach has grown is freaking disgusting. And is it very well known that in this world pregnant women are like heavy baggage for the rest of us? I don't think we'll all need to keep worrying about them all the time. There's no need to.
You think that pregnant women are like heavy baggage in this world? As in, they're all burdens?
That's right. I mean, she's not doing anything right now, right? Not working, not doing the chores, not cooking. She's not like you at all. You happen to be making massive amounts of money right now and everything.
I'm pregnant right now as well, though.
What was that?
I am pregnant.
Are you really pregnant right now? I never knew anything about that, though.
I'm still not through my first 12 weeks, so I haven't made any announcement yet. The only people that are aware are my family and the executives.
I see. Well, congratulations!
You have no right telling me congrats. From what you've just told me, I'm going to become a monster as well, right? Pregnant women are disgusting, right? So why are you congratulating me on that?
Ah, crap! You're a different Lexi!
Don't call me Lexi.
I'm sorry, Miss Goldblum.
Now, why am I different from your wife or any other pregnant woman for that matter? I like to think your wife and I are pretty similar biologically, so how am I different from her?
I'm sorry for saying that! I had no idea that you were pregnant. I would never call my CEO a monster or anything like that!
So you'd call the woman you're married disgusting, but you won't say the same thing about me? Or are you only saying that because I'm in a position where I could ruin your life right now and you wouldn't be able to stop me? If that's the case, then you're already ruined, Travis.
A lot of those things I was saying to my wife were jokes. I don't actually think of her body as being gross or anything like that.
Now you're going to pull the I was joking card? I already know what you really think of women that are pregnant, Travis. Let me be clear. You are a disgrace to humanity, and I will not forgive you for what you've done to your wife. Because of your horrific actions, the first way I'll be punishing you is by taking you off that project.
Why are you doing that?
Have you forgotten what the theme of the project that you're working on for me right now is? Caring for kids while they grow, right? And inside that topic, the birth of a child is also included. Someone like you who seems to hate on those that are pregnant shall not be a part of this kind of project. It would be ridiculous for me to allow that. I'll have a word with your boss, and today you'll be taken off that project.
Hold on for one moment. I have put all my heart into this project so far. I will not allow you to take me off the project at a time like this!
You won't allow me? Your CEO? Do you really think saying something like that to me is a good idea?
Well, what you're trying to punish me for has nothing to do with work. This is a problem between my wife and I. I will not allow you to use my private issues as a way of punishing me.
The reason you are being taken off that project is because you have called me a monster and do not seem to understand the importance of both pregnancy and childbirth. The fact that you act that way towards your CEO shows me that you are not worth trusting with any of the projects in this company. Once I've spoken with Mark about this, we'll see what he has to say about you.
What the hell have you done to me? How the hell did you meet with my CEO?
When I went to your office to try to meet with you, I ran into her. You were never coming home to me, so I had to make an effort to come find you. I thought by going to your office building, I'd be able to see you in person.
That's not all you've frickin' done! There is no way you just came to my company and were able to meet with my CEO like that. What the hell did you do to get her to talk with you for so long?
Meeting her and talking with her like that really was just a coincidence. When I arrived at the office building, I started to feel sick and sat down on the ground. When she saw me like that, she was getting ready to enter the elevator. She came over to help me up. Not only can she run a company, but she's a very thoughtful and caring woman.
And how did all of that turn into you talking about her private life?
She asked me why I came all this way to her company in the state I was in, so I told her all about what had been going on. And considering that she's pregnant herself, she wanted to listen to what was wrong.
You told her about everything that's happening between you and I! Don't freaking do that with someone as important as her! That was all a part of our private lives and should freaking stay that way!
Well, after I started talking about my relation to you, I started to get upset with all you've been doing to me and wanted someone to talk to about it. And you know what? I thought it was about time that someone like you who doesn't give a crap about your family was heard about. I haven't been happy with you for the past couple of months, and the same can be said of you with me. So why should I keep secrets about us any longer?
What are you trying to say?
We're getting a divorce, Travis.
Well, before you do that, take care of my CEO! I was just told by my boss that I'm no longer in charge of the project. It's because of you that all this has happened to me! So freaking fix it!
You're the one that pissed off your CEO, right? This is what you get for acting like a dumbass.
If you want this divorce, then do what I'm asking! I will have you come into this office and apologize to her right now! And then you're gonna come and apologize to me! On your freaking hands and knees!
I see. So this is a divorce then. I don't need you to accept this divorce either because my lawyer will help me with all of that. I just need you to pay me a settlement before the divorce is all. I know the reason you haven't been coming home at all lately. It's because you've been sleeping with another woman at her house, right?
Don't be such an idiot. You think I'd cheat on you?
Then tell me where you've been this whole time while not coming back home. And tell me what all those phone calls with your partner on the other end of the phone was about. I heard a lot of what you two were saying.
Huh? When did you hear all that?
I've known you were cheating on me for almost half a year now, Travis. I didn't want to face the truth about it because I was scared, but I had to. And thanks to all of that, it'll make this divorce go a lot easier for me. I'm going to make both yourself and your partner responsible for what you've both done to me.
Hold on a second. Let's just calm down here.
I'm calm. Are you? Or are you panicking right now because you're about to be royally screwed? I happen to have a lot going on right now. I'm going to be a mother here soon and need to prepare for a future where I can solely focus on my baby. That requires me to become even stronger.
Right now is not the right time to be asking for a settlement from me.
Why is now not the right time?
Because I'm being messed around with right now at work. Because you led the CEO into seeing all that I was saying to you, I'm not even sure if I'll even have a job here anymore soon. I'm getting kicked off the team that's working on the project. But I know there's going to be more to come now. Like my salary being cut and me losing a lot of other benefits I've gained here. So lay off trying to get that settlement from me!
Not happening. Before I have this baby, I want the divorce to be over with and for me to be starting a brand new life. The person I'm most worried about is not you, but my baby. I couldn't care less about what's going to happen to you after the divorce. And the CEO feels the same way about you. There is literally nothing you can do now to get me to stop, so give up.
You think I can give up that easily now? Right now my life is on the line!
And? My life and my baby's life is on the line right now. If you never really thought about how your selfish actions would be affecting us here today, then perhaps you are never going to be good enough to be a father, nor good enough to be a human. You don't understand or care to think about others, and all you worry about is yourself. I'm not sure one should consider you a human being anymore, but I promise you that you're turning into one of those disgusting monsters you always loved talking about after today. After that, I took out all the evidence I had of my husband cheating on me, and that led him to confessing and allowing the divorce. I was also able to get a settlement from him, and there was no way he'd be able to fight it. Of course, I was also able to get a settlement from the woman he cheated on me with, and she paid up. And when it comes to child support, my husband is now going to have to send me $1,000 a month until my baby turns 18 years old. When it comes to the company, my husband was left doing only the most annoying and repetitive work and began to really hate his job there. But that wasn't all for him, as a lot of his coworkers learned about the way he had treated both myself and the CEO and started to really let him know how they felt. This led to him pleading to be transferred to a new office and out of that department. His plan was to go to a new building and start from square one again, building his new life up. However, the place he was sent to ended up being a very small office, and his job would be working at the window of the building's front desk. I was told later by his CEO that the only reason she didn't have him fired for asking to be moved to a new position in building is because she wanted him to still make some income in order to pay the child support. She also told me that if he did ever end up not paying me the money I'm owed each month, to give her a call and she'd handle it personally. One time, something like that did end up happening after having the baby, and after telling her, she forced Travis into having to work night shifts until he paid me back doubled what I was owed. That ended up working out really well for me, and that money came to me the very next day. I really am thankful that I have such a strong ally as my ex-husband's CEO. Just after the divorce, I had given birth to a really cute little boy. It only took a few days after giving birth to him for my massive belly to go away and my body to start to return back to its regular shape. I like to think that pregnancy, childbirth, and babies are all very beautiful things and should never be called disgusting. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We're looking forward to seeing you at the next story.